What happens when someone spends 7 years on the edge of bankruptcy, earns a six-figure income, and still feels completely trapped with no way forward? In this episode, Dave Ramsey speaks with a caller who has been financially stuck since a divorce, carrying over $120,000 in debt, dealing with wage garnishments, spousal support, back taxes, and the emotional weight of borrowing from family just to stay afloat. Despite making $140,000 a year, the money seems to disappear before it ever has a chance to help. This call isn't just about debt. It's about exhaustion, confusion, and what happens when someone loses their footing after years of financial stress. Dave breaks the situation down step by step, cuts through the overwhelm, and challenges the caller to stop surviving month to month and finally take back control with clarity, discipline, and intensity.
I have been struggling and dancing with bankruptcy for essentially 7 years.
Wow.
Everything started, I'm not in it. I started the process post-divorce, but at the advice of the attorney, he's like, well, wait till this happens. Now wait till this happens. And essentially got in a position where I borrowed money from family and I wasn't going to run them through the ringer to go through a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Try to make this as quick as I can, as your call screener requested. I'm essentially $120,000 in debt, $20,000 out of it as a car loan at a very high interest rate because of my credit score. There's roughly $4,000 in back taxes from 2021. A $13,000 Parent Plus loan that I owe money on, and the rest is unsecured debt that I've accumulated either from back in the divorce or over the years of having 3 kids.
How much of this is family debt? How much do you owe your family?
I don't owe my family anymore.
Oh, I thought you said, okay. So what's the unsecured debt for $90,000? What is it, credit cards?
Mostly credit cards and some loans. Yeah.
Okay. What do you make?
Just trying to get through. My current salary now is $141,000.
That's good.
I am currently being garnished for $100,000 from one credit card company, and my spousal support, my child support had expired just last year, and then the garnishments came in, and my spousal support's roughly $1,200. Aside from other bills that I have, before anything, I'm bringing home roughly $5,000 a month. And I started back down the track on bankruptcy again, but again, I'm not a year out from having my family being pulled into that, and I don't want to do that to them.
Preferential treatment. Yeah. I am. Okay. So let me ask you. You said $100,000 worth of garnishment. What are you talking about? You said $100,000 worth of garnishment. What are you talking about?
No, not $100,000 worth of garnishment. I'm saying $1,000 a month.
Oh, $1,000 a month.
Garnished.
Okay, so you make $140, and they're taking out $1,000 for that, and they're taking out how much for child support? $1,200.
Spousal support, $1,280.
Okay, so that's $2,200. That's less than $30,000 out of the $140. So that leaves you $90, not counting taxes. How big's your tax refund?
Oh, I don't usually get any.
Good.
refund.
Okay, and then so how much do you have coming out for 401k?
That is maxing out at 6%.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, Jeremy. You're making a lot of money. It's just going back out the door. What do you think you're spending it on? All these payments. You got, this car payment's outrageous. It's $1,500, isn't it?
My car payment is $438 a month, but it's a very long loan at a 13% interest rate.
Okay.
One of the other things that's in the mix here is I am 1/3 owner of my mother's home from when she passed, and there's currently no settlement with my brothers and I on liquidating at least my share of it.
But you're not paying anything on that.
No, I'm not paying anything on that.
You might get some money out of it someday. Okay. All right. So
yes,
here's what I'm doing. I'm still not finding $140,000. So I temporarily would stop your 401k. I'm going to put you on a beans and rice budget. You don't eat out anymore. You don't go on vacation anymore, and you're going to make every dollar behave. Because 140 minus 2,200, minus 500 for a car payment, you still got a lot of money that is unexplained here, and I want you to go find it. I'm going to give you the every dollar premium budget, which is going to guide you through this whole process. But more than anything, Jeremy, you got to make every single dollar behave before the month begins and then execute on that with deathly efficiency. And, you've kind of been, it feels like you've kind of been wallowing around in this for so long that you've kind of lost your footing and you can't get a handhold, you can't get a foothold. And so I want you to just back up 3 steps, take a deep breath and dive into cold water and go, okay, fresh start, clean eyes, clear eyes, fresh start. Now, look at the math only. Where the flip is $140,000 going? Because you sure hadn't explained it to me in this. And I want you to go find that for your sake. You don't have to explain it to me, but you need to go find it. Cut up the stupid credit cards. Never touch one of those dadgum things again. They're destroying your life. And then let's list your debts smallest to largest and begin to attack them in that order after you start paying minimum payments. But you can stop the 401k. You can put the Parent Plus loan on temporary hardship. And then you could turn around and start attacking these other debts that you are paying monthly on, get them cleared up, and then come back to the Parent Plus loan and clean it up later. All of these things are gettable. They're very doable. And whatever that one that's got the garnishment on, get that thing, get it done, get it knocked out. And, man, I would just I'd pop it that way as hard as I could hit it. But the math here says you've got great hope. Your voice does not say that.
Yeah, I would recommend that you even get a second job, target $30,000 to $50,000. What would it take? How could you make an additional 30 to 50? Now, you got good income, but I think you need some intensity right now. We've heard enough debt-free screams that when we hear these people say, we worked every second that we could, and we made so much money. I think right now you need a jump start of intensity. And I would have looked to sell this car. This $20,000 car's got a $400 plus payment to it. You need to go all in, scorched earth, more income, and beans and rice.
That thing needs to be paid off in the next 12 months, or you need to sell it.
Yep.
You need to get fired up here. So you clean up those credit cards, you clean up that car loan, you start cleaning up a bunch of this, and all you've got left is the unsecured. You can start plowing through this stuff like a snowplow, baby. You can start knocking them down just like dominoes. It'll happen. We've seen people do it all the time.
What makes this call different from so many others is not just the debt itself, but the length of time this person has been living under its weight. 7 years of hovering near bankruptcy, 7 years of stress, delays, legal advice that kept pushing decisions forward, and the slow emotional drain that comes from feeling like you're always one step behind no matter how much effort you put in. This is what long-term financial pressure really looks like. Not panic, not chaos, but exhaustion. The kind where you stop believing there's a clear path out and start operating on survival mode instead of strategy. What Dave does here is quietly reset the entire frame of the conversation. He strips away the emotion, the history, the guilt about family, and the fear of what bankruptcy might do to others, and brings everything back to one simple question that changes everything. Where's the money actually going? Because the truth is, this caller isn't broke in the traditional sense. He's earning strong income, he has opportunity, and he has leverage, but none of that matters if the money is leaving without intention. Without a system, income becomes noise, and debt becomes permanent. Years of juggling payments, garnishments, and obligations can distort your perspective. You stop looking at the full picture and instead focus on whichever fire is closest that month. And over time, that constant reaction replaces decision-making altogether. That's why Dave doesn't start with motivation or encouragement. He starts with control. Every dollar assigned before the month begins, every expense accounted for, and every habit that created the mess shut down without negotiation. This is not about punishment. It's about clarity. When the fog lifts and the numbers are finally honest, the situation becomes manageable instead of overwhelming. What's powerful about this call is that Dave doesn't dismiss the emotional toll. He recognizes that the caller has lost momentum, lost confidence, and lost faith in the idea that effort actually leads to progress. And that's often the most dangerous stage of debt. Not when you're panicking, but when you're tired. The solution here isn't flashy. It's discipline, intensity, and temporary sacrifice in exchange for permanent relief. Beans and rice. No credit cards. No pretending the problem will solve itself. Just focused execution, month after month, until the numbers finally start moving in the right direction. This call is a reminder that debt doesn't just drain bank accounts, it drains hope. But hope doesn't come from optimism or shortcuts. It comes from action, structure, and the willingness to face reality without flinching. For anyone watching who feels stuck in a cycle that's lasted far too long, this conversation sends a clear message. A fresh start doesn't require perfect circumstances. It requires a decision to stop drifting and start directing. The math says this situation is solvable. The only question left is whether the intensity will finally match the opportunity. This channel is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or officially connected to Dave Ramsey or The Ramsey Show. All original audio and source material belong to Dave Ramsey and his team, and viewers are encouraged to support the official Dave Ramsey channel for full episodes and original content.